Will we see the same farce that we saw at the Belgian Grand Prix in 2021 rear its ugly head and repeat itself in 2023? I'm starting to think maybe, possibly. I mean, we're thinking that the first practice is going to be canceled tomorrow. 80% chance of rain all day. Okay. Then you go Friday practice, 80% of rain all day, 90% on Saturday, 50% on Sunday, and all of the times the temperature should not reach over 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the same charade? Because we have been screwed before. You've got to remember the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix was completely soaked raining. It was a farce. Michael Massey claimed that he was going to try and start the race, did 2 laps under total rain, came back inside, another couple hours, then had to wait another couple hours, and they decided to classify that, even though the rules say that you have to go half of the race for half of the points. They argued that they had fulfilled their requirements and that everybody at the Grand Prix, after a year and a half of litigation, were told they were never going to receive a refund. Can you imagine going to a Grand Prix, you watch 2 laps under safety car in pouring rain where it's just a parade and you do not get return money? The problem is Formula 1 is so popular and the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa is so popular that people return to this race without any complaints. And it's looking like it's going to be a rain-soaked race again. Will it be canceled again? They have put in provisions now, if you don't know the new rules, that they were possibly going to try and figure out a way that Pirelli has a tire available for this type of rain, and that if this happens again, they won't do the 2 laps under. They'll just wait, and possibly they could come back to a Grand Prix later on in the season. However, this has not been agreed to. So if this Grand Prix happens again, I have to ask you, is there going to be another farce? Is there going to be conspiracy to allow certain laps under a safety car, screw the fans again, rob them of money, and we're not going to see a race? Now, the other part of me says, if the race is not canceled, is this the best chance at another team to possibly beat Red Bull? Now, Max was able to win the Japanese Grand Prix and completely run away with it. Huge lead after it started being soaked and raining. Max is not affected by the rain as other Formula 1 great drivers are. He has the best car and he's the best driver right now. But in a qualifying session where there's a lot of cars where you can't get the right interval on the right tire, does Max have a bad qualifying position? And during the race, since it's a very fast track, a very dangerous track, a very risky track with, uphills and Eau Rouge, long straightaways, will another team like a McLaren be very fast here, get the right situation, and not back down when Max Verstappen tries to pass one of the cars in the Grand Prix? I'm starting to believe that this Grand Prix, if it rains significantly, heavy rain too, this could be the first chance at another team beating Red Bull, because I believe that at the Singapore Grand Prix, because of how weird it is that it's a street circuit, and the same to do with Sao Paulo, where last year you saw Mercedes so fast, that they would be more of the deciding factors in stopping the streak of not only Red Bull but Max Verstappen. But I'm starting to think this could be the Grand Prix. Ferrari have been very fast here in the past. Charles Leclerc has won here before. He likes this track. It's something historically that he's raced at in F2, F3, all of the championships, all the European formulas he's raced in. So a lot of European drivers, which a significant portion of the entire grid is, have raced here before, have had success here before, and are used to it. Now, because of that and equalizing conditions, does this hamper Max, Red Bull, and will it bring together with more accidents? Obviously, the more accidents you have, the more yellow flags, the more virtual safety cars, the more real safety cars, especially in wet conditions, could neutralize them. And on a bad start where the Red Bull is not performing and the tires are not warming up, can the McLaren and Lando Norris come and actually get them? I predict that if this is a raining race, it's going to help Lando Norris achieve his first ever victory in Formula 1. And it won't be because Max doesn't have the skills to win it. It will just because be the setup of the cars, and Lando Norris will not be a Lewis Hamilton behind him saying, I have an inferior car, I'm not going to make these risky moves. Lando Norris is willing to wreck that McLaren to finally get a Formula One victory. You have to remember, it is not assured that he has the whole political, financial, and just Formula One luck to win a Grand Prix. They say they want him at Red Bull. Something could happen. He could believe in McLaren, stay with them. Their car could turn into shit next year. I mean, it could completely drop off at the end of the season where the Mercedes and Ferrari become much more better with their upgrades and start beating McLaren at will. This could be one of the few shots Lando Norris has at winning a Grand Prix for the foreseeable future, and he will definitely take a shot at it if he has the opportunity. And since there's a lot of rain coming, it might be his opportunity to get ahead of Max and maintain that position, because on the straights, it won't help with DRS and everything. The rain neutralizes. It's a known thing in Formula One, if you haven't been a fan for a long time, that people in inferior cars can have better results and actually be faster and beat people in better cars, because now they all have to worry about sliding, about losing grip, about aquaplaning, and all of these play huge factors in Formula One. I personally will back Lando Norris to win this Grand Prix, not for light rain. It has to be reminiscent of the 2020 Grand Prix, which was a total farce and conspiracy to steal money from fans. It has to be that level of rain, but it has to be that level of rain, and they have to allow for racing, maybe a tiny bit less than it was. And then, and only then, will we see not another car, but possibly a McLaren. And Mercedes really hasn't done well here. I mean, Lewis did qualify pretty well. So maybe it could be British, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen fighting for a victory. I would love to see that. I think everybody watching would be loved to see that. Please put your prediction down for what you think will happen at the Belgian Grand Prix, and I will respond. Also, try and subscribe and like this video so we can grow this community. Thank you very much.